Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, it's really a great privilege to be here. Thank you to Shegun and the NRC team for given us this platform. Over the last few weeks, we've really been working with the NRC team to make sure we had a good town hall. And despite the fact that we really didn't have a full house, the most important thing is that we had great discussions. Ambassador Lala, thanks very much for the educational discussion. Everyone who made it despite the party to 5 a.m. yesterday, thank you for being here. Well, I just want to talk to you a little bit. I was told I have a few minutes about Lead Nigeria, an organization I started back in Nigeria in 2005. The word LEAD is an acronym for Leadership, Empowerment, and Attitude Development. So basically everything we've been talking about here, reorientation, reinventing ourselves, trying to understand the basics of what's going on in Nigeria is basically centered in the meaning of the word lead for us, because what we find out is that a lot of young people in Nigeria today lack the information they need to build themselves mentally. And many African young people find themselves in this situation as well, because it's not just about the diseases or the problems that goes on in the continent. It's just that at some point, if we have the information we need, we'll be able to do better for ourselves. Simply put, if you're not informed, you're deformed. But if you're informed, you're reformed. So that's the situation in Nigeria. And so when we started Lead Nigeria in 2005, it was basically how do we connect young people to this information? How do we provide this information for them? And also how do we inspire them to ensure that they make good use of this information to better their lives and also empower their peers or other young people. But in 2010, after my move to New York in 2008, to be honest with you, I never really knew NRC had this platform where we can talk about how much development we can, where we can actually discuss about Nigerian issues and talk about development in Nigeria. And so in 2010, I thought that for us in Nigeria, we thought that would be a great way to start connecting Nigerians in the diaspora. And so we started what we call the Nigerian Leadership Summit. Since 2010, the Nigerian Leadership Summit has been an annual event that has really connected and brought Nigerians from all across the United States to join us in talking about real issues and real solutions to the problem in Nigeria. And the last 2 years has really been very successful, but I'm very happy to inform you that we'll be having the very third annual Nigerian Leadership Summit coming up August 10 and 11. Now, this is very important for us because we've done it for this year, the third consecutive year. And we're excited for NRC being the 16th year. I promise you that we are not stopping at the third year. We're moving on and moving on as much as we can take us. But this year, last year our team is Our Time Is Now. And a lot of the panelists and speakers that spoke really hammered the point that at this point in time, there's really a serious need for us as Nigerians abroad or as foreign Nigerians to really be involved in influencing the change we wish to see in Nigeria. And so this year, with all what has gone on in Nigeria, our team is expanding frontiers and confronting challenges. There's a whole lot of challenges that is facing our nation today, and we want to confront that challenge. How do we do that? We need to think out of the box. We need to expand our frontiers. And that's what the Nigerian Leadership Summit this year will be focused on. And we're going to be having the summit at the Avalon Hotel in New York. And this is just a direct personal invitation to everyone here to please feel free to join us. I'm also very happy to inform you that some of the names we've had confirmed to discuss with us at the Nigerian Leadership Summit this year is indeed interesting to us because we've never had this group of speakers before over the last 2 years. So this year we're having the ambassador, both the ambassador to the US and the ambassador from the consulate in Atlanta. We have Dr. Issa Odide who will be joining us all the way from Canada. And Mr. Ikechukwu is here as well, although he hasn't confirmed, but we sent him an invitation. And a whole lot of all these people, all these Nigerian professionals and diasporian Nigerians to come together and let's talk about how to move Nigeria forward. So I'm not going to take much time, but please, if you have the time, go to leadnigeria.org, www.leadnigeria.org, and you'll be able get more better information of what we're doing, how you can be part of it, how you can support, because yes, there's more source that comes from joining forces. So there's a need for us to come together now and do this. So thank you.
Thank you. And our last one, thank everyone for coming out and moderating the discussion. I really enjoyed it. My name is Femi Ogunjimi. I'm the host of GFM Talk Show. I think somebody has a question over there. All right, sir.
I do have a question. And that question is very, very good. My name is Adebayo Olala. I was general manager for the Ferramo Company. And I retired in 1997 from the Nigerian government. The question I want to ask is, love with people. Good idea. 1976, we were here in Washington to meet President Obama. The idea was so fabulous. Everything we were talking about Nigeria, we were the best idea. We can talk, we can tell American government, we can tell American people how we can rebalance their everything, government. But we have a problem, and that problem is solved collectively. If we don't do it now, it's going to happen tomorrow. And what happened in Egypt, nobody thought it would happen. Until such a thing happened in Nigeria, we wouldn't plan. We all have idea, good. Government official, association, bankers, but we all know the truth. And that truth, nobody has ever mentioned it. And that has been going from one government to another government to another government to another government. We don't love ourselves. But when we're outside, we're all Nigerian. Is that true? When we get to the airport today, oh, you are Igbo, I'm Yoruba, you are Hausa, differences. Although we could do it together, but we're a country without electricity. What can you do? That question being to be done collectively first before any solution to Nigeria. You have a good idea. You got to think about how to form, how to contribute. At the same time, you got to think about how to generate electricity. Double cost to everything that you are doing. What can we do to help Nigeria to solve this problem? Obasanjo gave the same story. Good luck, I don't see any difference. But it will be different if they do that. If there is electricity today, all these ideas, it will be flowed to Nigeria easily. Many people have a good idea for Nigeria. We all love our country. There is no hope better than hope. What we are receiving in America was not just made because we came here. Because some people, they stood and fought and lost their life for all this gain that we are receiving now today. If we can receive half, I bet you, half of Nigeria here today, you will go back to Nigeria tomorrow. Because in the 70s, when we finished here, early 80s, nobody thought about when you finish your degree, next month, you are rushing to Nigeria. Why? Because the job is old. Then we had all this belief we're going to change, go and change, go and change. But whenever you get into the ministry or into the department and you are making change, you know the first one, where does it come from? Who is his family? You will either join or assassination mind about their own corruption. The time we came to change that. Corruption was in Egypt and far out. They were there for 7,000 years. But it will change. Leave that for them. The people that is going to change that, they will change it. It might not be of my own generation. It might not be of my children's generation. But I know it will come. But let the government give the solution about electricity. We have the power. We don't use it. I know if we come to America today and say, this is oil, we hold our heart, we want electricity to take 5 years. Every village we have electricity.
Thank you very much, sir, for that question. Very important. Person question.
Something to what you said just now.
Okay, sure.
I'm not sure if you're following the news. Like I said, something's going on, and you have to pay attention to what is going on. The person that brought mixed cell phone to work in Nigeria was the Obasanjo government. There was a contract that was signed between GE for 10 billion about a month ago or 2 months ago to answer the question you just said. We just hope that they practicalize what was signed. That's what I just want to say.
And one more thing, I'm glad that he mentioned that, but I think to solve the issue with electricity, it can actually be done if the government have the will to do it. Now, it's got to be a partnership between the government and the private sector. What should happen? If you look at America, how does America get electricity and other Western nations? Is nuclear power plants. So you gotta have these nuclear power plants that generate electricity to every corner of the country. And now when the government builds the nuclear power plant, it then gives the power to the private sector, who then regulate those nuclear power plants, and then charge people just like what we have here. If you look at different counties, when you get your electricity bill, you don't get the electricity bill from the government. In New York City, we have a whole bunch of them. We have Connexin, we have LIPA, and all this other things. So the private sector works on the electrical problems and give you the bill, but they work in partnership with the government who have the nuclear power plant. So if we can have the idea of bringing a nuclear power plant to Nigeria, we have the money to build it, but the government got to be willing to invest in the power plant that will then generate electricity for the people.
Last response.
I'm glad he said what he said, because we participated in the African Energy something with the U.S. government, about 3 months ago, and at the same time, Bati Naji was there, all of them were there, they've signed 2 contracts, like he said, and he used a good phrase, which I love most, if they act according to what they signed. because we were here when GE was celebrating making $1 billion annually at corporate council. So we followed everything very well. But they were making, during Obasanjo, they were making $1 billion sales of Tuban, which they later all over Port Harcourt everywhere right now. Which because they bought it, but they didn't have gas, or the right thing to connect it somewhere else. That goes to corruption side we talk about. So, but now they've taken the diaspora to be in charge. The energy program today they are implementing, as was publicly declared in Washington a few months ago, was designed by the diaspora. And they made Energy from MIT to be the one to execute it. Right now, they got, GE and another company in Canada for distribution. And now they're supposed to come out with energy policy. They've been changing that and changing that. Hopefully, next month, the energy policy will come. But right now, anybody can produce energy. You just have to sell it to the national grid. That's what they said. So let's pray and hope that the regulation will help us. In addition, the government project will be the foundation. And then once we have the energy, like you said, economic development will take off.
Thank you very much, sir. We're going to take one comment from the audience.
Oh, okay.
want to add my voice to what our father said there about electricity. I think one of the major problems that I see in Nigeria is individuals. Where is that guy that said something about rethink? We need to rebuild, rethink our attitude. Most of the contracts that are given to people in Nigeria, either the companies belong to the president or the governor or the governor's wife. And when such contracts are given, what do you expect? Low quality productivity. This is what is typical of Nigeria. The electricity meter that was built in Metama is owned by Obasanjo. He came out with that thing, he's out of office, but he's still making money. Because I was shocked when they said, the meter that they put in individual meter, it's Obasanjo's company. How did we get to be like that? So until Nigeria we move away from enriching ourselves, because what I see is personal, self-centered enrichment. Our attitude is that when they give you a contract to supply even science equipment, you will look for some things and bring to the secondary school instead of buying quality things. All one will think is that let me pocket the money, let me go buy a Lexus, let me go live in a big home. So until we rethink and rebrand our attitude that the electricity that we want to supply is for the benefit of all, including poor people, including rural areas. Because government cannot do everything, but the government are the ones who owns those contractors. And a share is being given to them. So until the government of Nigeria really rethink, why can't we get this thing done properly by giving it to somebody who really has a mindset of saying, I'm going to do quality work, not quantity that will not last. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for that comment, man. Yes. We just have to wrap it up. Our time is our strengths. I know we all have great minds and great thoughts, and I really appreciate everyone for contributing to this discussion. Again, my name is Femi Ogunjimi. I'm the host of GFM Talk Show. Check me out every Thursday on 1400 AM radio station here in Baltimore, or online at thegfm.com. That's thegfem.com. I'm going to hand over. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to hand over to the man himself, Mr. Silver.
Excellent. I'd like to thank all the panelists for their contributions to the dialogue. It was really exciting. I do apologize for the late start. Definitely like to thank, and I will use the word mommy, because your words are wisdom, Ambassador Lar, and the young man in the back that asked the question is actually my father-in-law. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you all, Eric Air, Bob Brunner, and all the participants, all our partners for being here. Have a wonderful afternoon. Please go out in the hall right now and dialogue. This room needs to be turned over for a wedding. I don't want someone not to be married today because of this function. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, which country were you originally? Netherlands. Yes, I've heard so many good things about you. You know, through Ambassador Davis. He's bound. As a matter of fact, I came to visit him. I came to visit him before you prayed himself.
WKG. It's about to go down.